Patience, a virtue, they say, a word tossed around like a polite suggestion in the great play of life. Be patient. They whisper it as though it was something simple, something easy. But patience, true patience, is not merely waiting. It is enduring without resentment. It is the art of stillness without the poison of expectation. And nowhere, my dear listener, is this art more necessary, more essential than in an avoidant relationship. Because if you find yourself entangled with an avoidant partner, if you have ever loved someone whose instinct is to retreat just when closeness begins, you will know that impatience is the quickest way to lose them. So today, we explore something quite unexpected: the surprising benefits of patience in an avoidant relationship. Not just the benefits for them. Oh no, that would be too simple. We are not merely speaking of the way patience allows an avoidant to feel safe. We are speaking of you, of what patience will teach you, of how in waiting for them, you may just find something far more profound. A patience that transforms not only your relationship, but yourself. So sit with me a while. This is not a lesson to be rushed. Now let me tell you a story. There was a woman once. Let's call her Astrid. A woman of warmth, of kindness. She had the sort of heart that wished to heal what was broken, to soothe what ached. And she, as fate would have it, fell in love with a man who did not know how to let himself be loved. Ah, you see, her heart was open. His was locked. At first, she did as most would. She tried to prove herself. She gave affection freely, reassurance in abundance, hoping that if she loved him enough, if she stayed long enough, he would see. He would understand. He would finally feel safe enough to stay. But he didn't. Because love, you see, is not a thing to be proven. And safety is not something you can offer to someone who has spent a lifetime running from it. So the more she reached, the more he withdrew. Until one day, exhausted, she stopped. She did not leave. Oh no, that would have been simple. She simply stopped trying to make him love her the way she needed. And something strange happened. For the first time, he did not feel the weight of expectation. He did not feel the silent pressure of a love that demanded his participation before he was ready. And ever so slowly, he returned. Not in grand declarations, not in poetic confessions, but in small ways. In the way he noticed when she was tired. In the way he listened when before he had been absent. In the way his touch, once fleeting, began to linger. And Astrid, in learning patience, had gained something she never expected. She had learned peace. You see, patience is not passivity. It is not silence, nor submission, nor a quiet suffering in the hopes that someone will change. Patience is strength. And in an avoidant relationship, patience does not mean waiting for them to love you. It means loving them without fear. Because here is the paradox. The more you chase an avoidant, the more they pull away. The more you demand certainty, the more uncertain they feel. The more you say, "Tell me what you feel," the more they wish to feel nothing at all. Not because they do not care, but because the pressure makes them feel like an animal cornered. And what does an animal do when cornered? It flees, or it fights. But when you stop chasing, when you stop pressing, when you become a presence that does not demand but simply remains, they begin to choose you. Because in that space, they finally feel free. And love, my dear listener, cannot exist without freedom. Now let's turn the mirror towards you, because I ask you this. What if the very thing that infuriates you about an avoidant, the very thing that frustrates you, confuses you, breaks your heart? What if it is actually a gift? What if, in waiting for them to feel safe, you learn something extraordinary about yourself? What if patience in this relationship is not just about them, but about what it teaches you about the nature of love itself? Because love is not control. It is not force. It is not convincing someone to stay. And so, in an avoidant relationship, if you let it, patience will teach you the purest kind of love. one that does not insist, one that does not panic in silence, one that does not need immediate proof of its existence. Patience, you see, separates love from possession. Now, an avoidant may never tell you this, but they test you, not deliberately, not cruelly, but deep within them, there is a question. Can I trust you to let me be who I am? They have spent years believing that love comes with conditions, that love demands they be something they are not ready to be. And so when you do not chase, when you do not punish their silence, when you show them that your love does not come with chains, but rather with choice, they begin to trust. And when an avoidant trusts you, that, dear listener, is when love finally has a chance to grow. And here is the question you fear the most. What if I am patient and they never return? What if I give them space and they choose to leave instead? And to that I say this: then they were never going to stay to begin with. Because patience does not make someone love you. It simply reveals whether they do. Patience is not about waiting forever. It is about waiting long enough to see the truth. If they return, it is because they chose you. And if they don't, then perhaps you were never meant to be the one they chose. Either way, you have your answer, and answers, no matter how painful, are always better than illusions. So, my dear listener, I leave you with this. Patience in an avoidant relationship is not passivity. It is not helplessness. It is power. The power to let love unfold in its own time, rather than forcing it into existence. The power to stand still, rather than chase. The power to be at peace, even in uncertainty. Because in the end, the surprising benefit of patience is this: it does not just teach you how to love an avoidant. It teaches you how to love, truly, deeply, freely, without fear. And when you learn that, when you master the art of loving without chains, without expectation, without demand, you will never fear losing someone again. Because you will know that love is not about possession, it is about presence. And that, dear listener, is the rarest love of all. Now, if you have found something valuable in these words, consider subscribing. For love, attachment, and the mysteries of the human heart, these are matters worth exploring together. Until next time, stay patient, stay wise, stay free.
If you believe this video might help someone dear to you, share it with them. A small gesture on your part could mean the world to a friend in need.